I'm gonna say Selena Gomez is true, that you were at Selena Gomez's wedding, you joked, hey, you beat me to the altar.
It's false.
What is the rules? Wait, what are the rules of the game? The game is not, it's false. The game is, it is, what is the game called?
I don't know.
Sorry, that's false?
Yeah.
So you never said
false.
that?
Well, I got to see her be the most elegant, gorgeous, not only bride, but just vision that I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen anything so beautiful as her on her wedding day. I
love her.
And she deserves
and Benny.
All of his happiness. Benny he is him.
The best,
He
dude.
is so funny.
He's the best.
He's the best. So I did make a speech, but I actually made a point not to mention anything about my engagement. Nobody wants you to be like, hey, I know this is your wedding day, but like, you know, like I was like, don't
it's not
mention
about
it. Like,
you.
maybe turn it around. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yep, this is her day.
I did do some light teasing about the way that we used to dress in 2008, the year that we met. Because we met when we were teenagers in 2008. It was quite a year. Let me tell you, it was the year of deep V-necks.
Was it deep?
I just go into
Very deep.
I just go into
Very deep,
the Gilded Age.
Deep. Oh,
I love the Gilded Age.
Me too, the Gilded Age.
Get me
Don't
started.
even.
Carrie Coon's character. It was the year of aggressively colorful skinny jeans. Everyone was walking around saying things were amazeballs. Mrs. Astor hated it.
Oh my God, that nailed it right there.
So basically, Selena used to, like, her favorite outfit back then was like a very long tank top, skinny jeans.
They know it.
But like a tiny little vest. Like the smallest vest and Chucks. And that was her like uniform of that year. And mine was that I just always looked like I was like late for the cowboy themed junior prom. And so I talked a little bit about 2008. I talked about how happy I am for her and how just beautiful it's been to get to be a part of her life. But I did not make it about me.
Okay, good. All right, then I'm going to have my second guess here. And I'm going to say, I think it'd be funny if Ed Sheeran learned about your engagement on Instagram.
That's so true. Perfect explanation.
Oh no!
He doesn't have a phone. He doesn't have a phone.
Didn't you write a whole album about an old phone that he had or something?
But he doesn't have one that works.
Yeah, it's true. That is true.
So he doesn't have a phone, and this is like one thing I love about him. It's very eccentric. Love it. But when I'm going through being like, hey, like, you know, hey, who
all my peeps.
Call? Who should we FaceTime? I'm going through my texts and being like, who have I texted within the last like month of my life? And he just wasn't there because you have to like, how
do you get a hold of him? The bat signal?
You have to email him, and then if you want to set up a FaceTime, he has to find an iPad. They have to give it to him like he's a child that they give the iPad to.
Yes, and he watches an episode of Bluey, and then...
This is one of my absolute favorite people on the planet. And
I know, that's why I didn't guess that.
And then when the news came out, I was like, oh my God, we forgot to call Ed! Oh no!
That's my favorite.
Yeah, he's like family. Like,
of course.
I love him, but he doesn't have a phone.
Should we transition to Wood? This is Wood. W-O-O-D, by the way, if anyone's watching that, yeah. W-O-O-D, like wooden, yes, wood. Here we go, this is Wood. All right, now this great, those are great tunes. By the way,
thanks.
Do you come up with tunes before for this exact song? Did you go?
No, so I brought this into the studio and I was like, I want to do sort of like I want to like do a throwback kind of timeless sounding song, and I had this idea about like, I ain't gotta knock on wood, and we would knock on wood and it would be all these superstitions. And it really started out in a very innocent place. You know, it started out like, I don't know what happened, man.
We went off the rails.
I got in there, we started vibing, and I don't know. I don't know how we got here, but I love the song so much.
After the electrifying concert at Arrowhead Stadium, Taylor Swift shared a story that left the audience swooning, recalling how Travis Kelce had confessed on his podcast about his failed attempt to hand her a bracelet with his phone number. The very next morning, Taylor revealed, she got an unexpected call from an unknown number. "I don't usually answer unknown calls," she admitted, flashing a smile at the crowd. "But I had just poured my coffee and for some reason, I picked it up." On the other end was a voice she couldn't forget, saying, "Hey, this is Travis, the guy with the love bracelet. I'm sorry I couldn't give it to you." Taylor laughed, captivated by the sincerity and humor in his tone, admitting she had to sit down because she couldn't believe he had actually called. The audience erupted with laughter as Jimmy Fallon playfully clutched his chest. "Oh, what a romantic Taylor Swift start," he teased, and Taylor's eyes sparkled, her joy undeniable, leaving everyone hanging on every heartfelt word. He admitted he'd been listening to my songs again and felt this sudden urge to do something wild, like call someone he had just seen perform the night before. And he went for it. Travis didn't know if I'd even pick up. He was ready to leave a brief voicemail if I didn't answer, but thankfully I did. "What made me laugh?" Taylor said, her voice sparkling with amusement. Was the way he stuttered. This huge, powerful football player sounded like a shy high school kid dialing his first crush. The conversation stretched on for nearly 45 minutes. They first dissected the concert, then drifted into everyday topics, food, trips, and the music they both adored. He asked, "If you weren't Taylor Swift, what would you do?" And I replied, "Maybe I'd open a small coffee shop in Nashville." He went quiet for a heartbeat, then said softly, "Well, I'd be the one making you coffee every morning." The studio erupted in laughter as Jimmy Fallon leaned forward, teasing, "So, he won you over after that first cup, huh?" Taylor laughed, shaking her head. "Not really," she smiled. But that was when I realized he wasn't just a sports icon. He was real, grounded, someone who actually listened and made me feel calm. What truly captured her heart, she confessed, was his sincerity. Travis never tried to impress or dominate the conversation. He didn't boast about his fame, his victories, or his life. Instead, he spoke with quiet warmth, telling her how deeply he admired her passion for music and the way she lived so fearlessly. Then, almost shyly, he asked, "Do you ever get tired of being so bright all the time?" That question made me pause, she admitted softly, her voice dipping with emotion. "Not many people ever ask me that." I said, "Yeah, sometimes I get really tired." And he replied, "Then when you need a break, I'll be there for you to just be yourself." Fallon's eyes shimmered with genuine feeling. That was the sweetest confession I've ever heard. Taylor smiled, nodding, realizing in that moment that maybe this wasn't just a random call anymore. After a few more calls, they agreed to meet. He invited me to a Chiefs game, but I didn't want anyone thinking I was just there for him, Taylor explained. So I told him, "If you win this game, I'll come see you." Ironically, that was the game Travis scored the winning touchdown. Moments after he left the field, my phone rang with just 2 words. "You won." Taylor laughed, radiant and joyful. The moment I realized there was no turning back came during their first private meeting at an intimate Kansas City restaurant. He arrived in a simple gray sweater, relaxed and unassuming, and I matched his casual vibe. But the instant he walked through the door, it was as if the world around him faded to silence. Her eyes glistened as she recalled it. They shared a quiet dinner, conversed long into the night, and ended the evening with a lingering hug that remains unforgettable for both of them to this very day. This very day.